One of the boys. One of the boys.
One of the guys, yeah.
If sexual harassment suits were in there, she'd be 7 millionaires right now. After what we put her through, she'd have all the lawyers working for her against us.
I don't think anyone ever really felt that she was a woman, and I don't mean that detrimentally.
No, we were musicians.
Yeah.
Everything was music, really.
Yeah. Worse than that would have been shutting her out and not sharing the camaraderie.
And this is the only one I had to really palm mute to get the treble out. So you can hear that. Yeah. So anyway, that's what I did, yeah. And it's Earl Palmer on drums on that one. I heard music as a kid because my mother was a professional piano player. She played in back of the silent movie houses, and my dad was a trombone player. He played Dixieland bands, things like that. So I heard music all the time. If they didn't fight, they played music. So you knew where it was coming from. My mom and I were living in this housing project, but my mom saved up her pennies, and there was a steel guitar salesman that came around. And about 3 or 4, at that time, I started playing gigs on guitar. And little Latin things. So it was a lot of great experience. Coleman got to be the musical conductor for the Shindig show about the same time I accidentally got on bass. So there was a big hole there. People ask me all the time about being a woman in a man's world. I felt equal with the rest of the guys, and they felt it too. Sometimes they got a little testy. They'd say, oh, you play good for a girl, Carol. Yeah, and you play good for a guy, too. I love musicians and the humor and the way that they play, and they all knew that. And I think it was like a sister, having a sister there. I had my 2 kids and my mom to support by that time. We would do 3-4 dates a day, and I'd manage to get home to have dinner with the kids. That's the only thing I regret, is that I didn't spend more time with the kids. But they were very well taken care of, and they had good lives, most of the time. They were fine.